Welcome to the Spiritual Awakening with Shaz podcast, where we unlock the power within and navigate the journey of your self-discovery together. I'm Shaz, your spiritual mentor and life coach, here to help you tap into your inner guidance system and manifest your best life. Whether you're just beginning your spiritual journey or looking to deepen your practice, this podcast offers insights, techniques, and inspiration to elevate your consciousness and transform your reality. Get ready to shine your light and embrace your true potential. Remember, the answers are inside you. Let me be your guide on earth. There's a weird thing that happens when women want more. Whether it's more money, comfort, ease, options, or freedom, people around them start to panic. They project onto them all of their problems about what they're lacking in life, or they make it mean something that it actually doesn't. Somehow wanting a wealthy life, and wealth is more than money, it is everything. It's abundance, prosperity, love, joy, happiness, health, excitement, all of those magical things come together, becomes taboo unless it's packaged in a Pinterest vision board in neutral tones with phrases like abundant goddess attached. It's like people can't even allow us the freedom and the sanctity to know what we want in life. So many people are not interested in that. Women especially are interested in real conversation, real connection, the unfiltered conversations, depth, that essence of knowing that you can talk about anything with anyone and they're going to get it without judging you. Sharing soul secrets, memories, convoluted aspects of the universe, wondering what's going on in different planes and having great spiritual openness. But that unfiltered version sometimes becomes a dirty word. It becomes judgmental and bitter. It really makes people misunderstand what wealth is all about. And especially in spiritual circumstances, they start throwing around words like greedy, selfish, spiritually off track. One of my favorite things that's ever happened is so many people tell me, you're a psychic reader. Well, that's a gift. You can't actually charge for that. You can't actually be who you are. You can't bill for your services. Now, not only for my psychic services, but especially that, I've spent over 25 years practicing and learning it and mastering the skill. Yes, it's a gift and it did come naturally to me to a degree, but the depth of knowledge and wisdom that I've got from it did not happen overnight. Add on top of that my coaching and the thousands of dollars that were invested into that, and then heaven forbid you tell me I can't charge for my services and I should just give them away. Everybody else charges for everything. Why, in spiritual terms, is wealth, abundance, richness, clarity, flow, and all of that good stuff such a dirty word? Wealth only has one purpose in life, right? And that's just to give us options. It opens the playing field so that we can do so much more. With more money, we can invest more in society, show more people, do more free aspects of it, but at the same time, we have to earn a living. And freedom expands when you're wealthy. Go and look at some of the great people with money out there and watch what they do with it. There are very few people, and especially women, who want money for money's sake. When they get it, they make the world better. I'm talking about women like Taylor Swift, who donate so much money to homelessness, Dolly Parton, who sends back a lot of her wealth into reading programs, Oprah, who invests in children all over the world. These are powerful women who, with wealth and knowledge and beauty surrounding them, give back. And this is what we want to give other women: permission to actually want more, to do more. This week's episode of the podcast is going to delve into some aspects that many people don't like to talk about, and especially from the childhood aspects and the households that we grew up with. Because if you were like me, money was massively stressful in our household. There was never enough. I have to look back and give my mum credit for how she did keep us sustained and alive during the time that we grew up, because she had an injury and she wasn't able to work all the time, but there was still always food on the table. We were clothed and shoed. We didn't have a lot, but we also didn't have nothing. If we wanted things, sometimes we had to wait to get them. And we learned that money was a valuable asset. And I also learned that if I actually wanted money, I had to go and earn it early. So I had jobs at 10. I used to do some, trying to think of the word here, can you tell? I used to help people with study and do some tutoring. I used to tutor some junior people at school at 12 and 13 years old. I also used to do babysitting. And then I got my first job at Macca's at 14. These were all things that helped us sustain wealth in our childhood. Because money was controlling, it was scarce and it was budgeted. And that was something that I never realized until much later in life. My nervous system was set up that way. And I'm not the only one. There's so many of us out there that have had the same or similar things. Then they threw around terms around good girl or the responsible one. And all of these stacked on top of us to make us feel that we're not supposed to want anything. We're just supposed to accept what's given to us or cope with what's there or endure what's going on and be grateful for small things. Don't get me wrong, gratitude is the most beautiful, wonderful practice in the world. But many people use it as a muzzle to be spiritual, like it's emotional management for other people. Just be grateful for what you have and don't worry about anything else. Gratitude is something, yes, we're grateful for everything around us, but I'm certainly not grateful when people want to take advantage of me or just give away things and not do anything to get something back. Money is a very hard topic for so many people, and especially women, because we get landed different money scripts. There are different perspectives on money for males and females, and it happens still all over the world, where women get told, don't be greedy, don't be flashy, you can't be too successful, and oh my God, don't out-earn your partner. Don't rise up and be the breadwinner. Don't make people uncomfortable. You can't be too materialistic. You can't want too much. Heaven forbid if you want to be taken care of. You got to take care of yourself and everybody else around you. Most women don't hear just don't do this, don't do that. It's not really right, okay? Whereas men, they get handed a different script that says, build this life, provide for everyone, invest in this, grow it up, accumulate wealth, protect the others, protect your family, plan for the future. How on the same planet do we have such totally different conditioning? And when I talk to younger women around me, they're still going through the same thing. Women have more conflict around wealth because they are always taught that they're the home builders, they're not the breadwinner, they're not the financial security. And don't get me started on some of the TikToks out there. Yesterday I come across one, and thankfully one of my favorite influencers tore him to shreds, of this guy turning around and saying, women, why don't you just stop looking at working and behave yourself and stay at home and kick out a couple of babies or a couple of million babies for a man and do what you're told. We're not moving back to the 1950s here, okay? We're in 2026. Women do often out-earn men. They shine brighter. They have more compassion. They have more capacity. But it is a big struggle. When we start earning more, showing up and becoming more, we get accused of ego or outliving the 3D planet. There's so much materialism. It's an illusion. We have so much attachment to it. These things build us false sense of security around what we can actually create. Money flows. The more you give it a job, the more it receives and comes in and then goes back out again. It is a continuous supply if you allow it to be so. And we need money for these things because rent exists, bills exist, interest rates exist, mortgage payments, fuels, the cost of groceries, for crying out loud. But it doesn't have to be as hard as we make it. And spiritually speaking, the world has this view that in a spiritual business that you have to be scarce. Everything has to be hard and it can't be easy to come by, and it should be drip fed to you in little bits and pieces. We can be totally abundant and fully in flow and have lots of clarity and have it all at the same time if we just let us. Wealthy spiritual women are not greedy. They're resourceful. And the best part is resourceful women are very dangerous in all the right ways, because we will use that money not just for ourselves, because there is very few spiritual women out there that are pure greedy. They always want it to invest in themselves, to help others, to create, to give more, to help the underdog, to show up and share with other people. And wealth is not that false illusion of having stacks of cash on Instagram, lying about all the clients that you have that aren't really there, and promoting yourself as something so much more than what you are. Because when you build that wealth foundation on a house of cards, let me tell you, it will crumble down faster than you can see. And it's not sustainable. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people out there that go woo and pretend to be spiritual. But the greatest gift of spirituality, from my perspective, is authenticity and truth. Be real about it. Because when you build on those false foundations, they don't last very long and it falls down. And when it falls hard. You can always tell when someone's being authentic and truthful because they rise with ease. It does take longer, but it actually rises in the best possible way, and it's sustainable and they keep it there for long times. If you want to see how someone's doing, look at their health and their well-being and the people around them, especially their families. Because if you are building on lies and turmoil and false representation, it is going to roll off, and those effects are going to hit those around you, your children, your partners, and other things in your life. Because wealth is everything. It is not just physical money. And when you misrepresent what is going on within you, it will have external effects that you can actually see. Wealth is also not passive income screenshots that anyone can doctor. We all know how to use Canva, and it's so easy to change numbers on a screen. And it's not manifestation boards or vision boards that only have pictures of yachts and islands on it. My vision board is covered in words of inspiration, of goals, of reachable targets. It is not this illusion that we put out there. Because wealth is really quiet. It's practical and it's deeply spiritual, simply because it gives us the opportunity and allows us to rest, to have time out, to have time when we want it. It gives us choice. The foundational and the strongest part it gives us is great health and well-being, that sense of safety. It makes us generous. It offers healing. It's creative. Wealth isn't just money, it's options. You heal differently when you choose your own self-worth and your own healing over everything else. The problem is, in society, many of us have no choice but to choose to pay the rent to feed ourselves rather than getting the healing or therapy that we need to resolve the stories and the problems in our psyche, in our body, in our somatics. You get out of fight or flight mode when you're in a wealthy environment. We talked about it last week. Wealth and safety and security lie in our base chakra. This is why I talked in the beginning about what you grew up with in the household, how you learnt about money in childhood. our wealth conditioning all starts way back in our childhood. If you are a parent and you have children, teach them that money is available to them everywhere. Show them how to manifest. Show them how to vibrate so they can get anything. Show them that it's great to dream. Give them goals to reach for. Because you dream differently very much when you're out of fight or flight mode, when you're not struggling over next week's bills, when your nervous system is no longer wired for survival. And you contribute in different ways. One of the big things in society, and it breaks my heart, is women out there, they don't lack desire, they lack permission. They don't give themselves enough permission to want more, to be more than just enough, to be comfortable, to not apologize for having standards, to not demand better from themselves and everybody else around them. They lack permission to speak money without choking in guilt, without having to provide for everybody else first. To build instead of just coping. Women stay stuck because of the illusion of the money stories that they hold within them, because it makes them a villain when they rise above it. Many women are stuck in relationships or family dynamics that are held by the constraints of money tying them together. But that illusion doesn't have to stay. Money is the most available resource on this planet. It's everywhere. You just have to align with it, rise up to do it, and take action to get it. But that starts with permission. You don't need a moral reason or a trauma reason, and you don't need to earn it through suffering. And you certainly don't need to be perfect first. Wanting more is reason enough. For me, the desire of wealth didn't start as greed. It didn't start as anything more than just this deep desire to want to help other people. I could give you so much more if I had more money to invest in it. I can help so many more people if I can also take care of myself. It actually got birthed out of exhaustion. I want ease, I want flow, I need space. I wanted all these options available to me without checking the bank account every 5 minutes, worrying, can I pay for this bill? Worrying, can I eat tomorrow or pay the rent? These aspects I built from the ground up. My safety and security within my own body was cactus. And that's the polite word. I had no financial understanding. Wealth was not taught to me in any way, shape, or form. I lived in Struggle Street. I grew up that way, and it stayed that way. Because one of my big money stories, and this is part of my own personal journey, is every time I had money in the bank or every time it flowed to me, disaster happened. So I created a belief that money meant problems. It's actually the other way around. Money solves problems. Money eases the way. But the conflict that I had from money is usually that when I had money, everybody else wanted it too. And I had to share it, which I have no problem with sharing it, but not when it's demanded or taken from you or guilted into submission. That is not the way money needs to be. I wanted the option to be able to say yes to things without checking the bank account, doing more, offering more, showing up in ways that I can. And this is why I really built my Shine with Shaz program, to help you boost that safety and security, bring along that inner child and the shadow aspects to get rid of those old negative beliefs that pull us down, that hold us back from really becoming who we're meant to be. Because wealth is a nervous system conversation long before it's a money conversation. My EFT tapping scripts and the energy that I put into my body and the safety and security I put into my base chakra, I work on it every day. I followed a woman called Catherine Zenkina who taught me about money manifestation. And one of the great things that she taught me was how to go and date your bank account. Because some days I used to go and open my banking app and I'd be in such fear because heaven forbid it was in a negative balance. Because there was never enough coming in. There was not enough to cover things. And I'd been in financial strife before. But to look at that with ease and then knowing that even if it is negative at the moment, money will flow back in. I can manifest it. I can create it. I can hustle if you want to. But usually I just ask the universe, can you bring me the right clients, the right people, the right products, or give myself the right permission to go out and be what I can be in that moment. And that's where it rises up to become everything it needs to be. So the nervous system conversations is I had to make sure that my body and my unconscious mind realize money, wealth is not a threat. It's not judgment, and it doesn't abandon you. Those losses hurt in many ways. They had to be healed. They had to be forgiven. I had to forgive myself for so many mistakes and judgments that I made on money. And then I had to forgive other people for not assisting me when I had money and I wasn't able to use it in the best possible way. I had to get rid of sabotage patterns. I had to get rid of punishment of self. Your body associates wealth with safety, stability, choices, expansion, authenticity, dignity, creativity. When your nervous system is thriving from these points, there is so much abundance out there. And this abundance comes in so much more than just physical dollars. The physical dollars is one thing, but the wealth creation around us, the people we surround us with, our families, the luxury items that we have, the ability to go and do things, to show up, to be around people, to invest in ourselves in whatever way we need. You are allowed to want more, to build more, and to have wealth in a world that told you just to cope. You can build magnificent resources if you just let yourself, because wealth gives you option, it gives you freedom. It's not greedy. Wealth is actually self-respect. I hope this episode's landed for you and you get the guidance that you need from this to build your safety and security. Start with those I am affirmations that align with the base chakra. I am wealthy. I am financially free. I am available to money. Build them from there. Money flows to me in unimaginable ways. I receive with grace and ease. Wealth is everywhere. It is up to you how you position yourself to allow it to flow through you. No more apologizing for wanting more. Stand up for who you are. Come heal yourself, gather yourself, and set yourself up to shine. If you want to rise out of the identity of scarcity, of hardship, of just coping with what's going on, and really step into the powerful identity of the creator, the master creator of your universe, the wealth abundant, beautiful woman inside you, the leader, the thriver, the goddess, come join me and shine. Because wealthy women, and especially wealthy spiritual women, change the world in phenomenal ways. And I know you're meant to be one of them too. Thanks for listening. Until next time. Thanks for listening to the Spiritual Awakening with Shaz podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below so you don't miss an episode. You can also follow us on Facebook with the links below. Until next time, trust your intuition and let your spirit soar.